And a very good afternoon to you all on this historic Wembley day. The last FA Cup final of the 20th century, and fittingly two of English football's most famous clubs are disputing this, the 71st final to be staged at this celebrated arena. The two Uniteds, Manchester and Newcastle, are no strangers here. Alex Ferguson's team indeed are contesting their fourth FA Cup final of the 90s. And hopefully from wherever you're tuning in today, from all points of the globe, some 140 countries in all, hopefully like all of us here at Wembley, you're beginning now to experience that surge of adrenaline, that tinge of anticipation that always accompanies this most prestigious occasion when English football throws open its doors and invites the world in to its end-of-season party. Ruud Gullit there, a winner, of course, with Chelsea 2 years ago as a manager. A chance for his team to be party poopers. Manchester United on part 2 of their record-breaking assault on 3 major trophies. And Newcastle, so disappointing in last year's final. You don't need to remind Alan Shearer of that. They're thirsting to halt United in their tracks and give their own fans a real day to remember. Just waiting now for the two teams to emerge from the tunnel. And they will tread out into blue skies over Wembley. The sun has been out. The old stadium awash with colour, alive with an ear-splitting crescendo of sound as the teams prepare for the presentations. Alex Ferguson and Ruud Gullit leading the teams out. And I'm sure for the man alongside me here, a veteran of 5 FA Cup finals, most of us will settle for 1, but he's been greedy 5 FA Cup finals. The memory of this moment, Ray Clements, I'm sure, still very fresh in your mind.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, yes. I mean, it's a tremendous feeling to walk out of that tunnel. Different players react in different ways. Some are very much lifted by coming out of that tunnel. Some are probably a little bit awestruck by it. And I wonder how Steve Harper behind Alan Shearer there, how he's actually feeling as he walks into this tremendous atmosphere. Fireworks gone off all around him. They're walking through the haze of the fireworks now, and I'm sure he couldn't believe maybe 3 months ago that he would be in this situation.
Well, nerves are so often a factor on days such as these. FA Cup history bears testimony to so many stories down the years of those who've frozen on the day and those who've risen gloriously, magnificently to the occasion. Just listen and look at this atmosphere here at Wembley today. It really takes some believing. Well, some observers have speculated that Manchester United minds, rather than on today, might be more heavily focused on their final match of the season, the Champions League clash with Bayern Munich next Wednesday. But Alex Ferguson, beaming smiles from him so far today, while admitting that that is the one he most wants to win now, insists that the historic treble is the target. And Newcastle can rest assured United's feet will be firmly on the pedal today, as Ferguson's team strive to become the first to achieve the double 3 times. As for Newcastle, well, the memory of last season's tame showing in defeat by Arsenal will surely serve to inspire them. Their lack of enterprise and adventure, their whole demeanour, I think, as much as anything else, stunned their passionate and devoted fans as much as the loss itself. And today, the players, those who featured in that game and those who didn't, will be straining every sinew, I'm sure, to provide a performance to be proud of. We seem to say it every year, Ray Clements, but this really is some atmosphere.
Well, last year the Newcastle fans were outstanding. I mean, this year, if it's possible, they seem even louder. I mean, there's one of them not in a black and white striped shirt. They've been around the city for a couple of days. They've been having atmosphere into the city of London. And the noise they generated as the two sides came out was absolutely incredible. They're showing the Newcastle side the sort of passion that they want from their team today. And as you rightly say, I'm sure we'll see a vastly improved Newcastle side from the one that performed here last season.
Well, 250,000 lined the streets of Newcastle to welcome them back as losers last year. How many, I wonder, will turn out should they win? The time now for the presentations of the teams to their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duke and Duchess of Kent, and of course the national anthem. as ever on this wonderful Wembley occasion. The last FA Cup final of the century, and hopefully we'll have a game to match. His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales leading the two teams, Alan Shearer leading him along the line. Such a proud day this for Shearer, a Geordie leading out a Geordie team. Robert Lee, of course, was captain last year. Shearer having now taken over the armband under Rule Hullet. Hullet himself looking pretty relaxed as ever, Ray.
Well, I've never seen him anything else, to be honest. He's one of the most relaxed managers in the Premiership I've seen. Nothing seems to faze him.
He can't quite work out what the FA Cup is about, I don't think.
No, I think certainly, you know, in Europe, cup competitions are not classed with the importance of this one.
Well, there'll be no shortage of commitment for this fellow, Roy Keane. One or two problems earlier in the week. A fracas he was allegedly involved in the Manchester night spot after while celebrating the championship win. That's behind him for the moment anyway, as he introduces Prince Charles to the United team today. David Beckham there, he's bound to be a key man. And Phil Neville, who's come in for Dennis Irwin out through suspension. And what a moment there for Peter Schmeichel. Your appraisal, Ray, of a man who has served them so well down the years, but now is leaving the English scene.
Well, it'll be a great loss to United, and I'm sure Alex Ferguson has been working probably for 6 months to try and find out who that replacement will be, because he has been a cornerstone. Whenever their back four has made an error, invariably Peter Schmeichel has bailed them out. And they're not going to have that next year, and it's going to be difficult to find somebody with his stature, his experience, to play in these big theatres every 3 or 4 days.
Well, they are here today to savour every moment of the final. So disappointed last year. I think they felt let down by their team. Somehow I don't think that is going to be the case today, certainly in terms of performance, in terms of contribution from the Newcastle players. They are out to make amends. And so as the two teams break to their respective ends, Newcastle to our right, and their fans back behind that goal. You've got Manchester United to the left. Let's take a check on the Wembley line. Starting with Manchester United, no Jaap Stam or Henningberg because of injury, although Stam is among the substitutes. Dennis Irwin, as I was saying, of course, is out suspended. In the shake-up, Ferguson pairs David May with Ronnie Johnson in central defence, with Phil Neville on the left, and up front starts with Andy Cole and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He has Dwight Yorke and Teddy Sheringham, not a bad pairing, in reserve on the bench. Keane and Paul Scholes, both banned from the Champions League final, were always certainties today. So was David Beckham, and Ryan Giggs also plays. We had wondered if he might have been held back for the European final. And no doubt, of course, over the choice in goal, Peter Schmeichel, his 4th and last FA Cup final. Ray, how do you see them lining up here?
Well, we expect them the tried and trusted 4-4-2. Obviously, Keane and Scholes vital in the middle of the field there, because that will be some battle. And it'll be a very interesting battle with Ryan Giggs and Andy Griffin, the right back for Newcastle United. So I'm looking forward to that one.
Let's look at Newcastle's side now. The big dilemma facing Ruud Hullet, of course, was whether or not to gamble on Duncan Ferguson, who goes into hospital for a hernia operation on Monday. The answer, well, it's half and half, really. Not in the starting 11, but on the bench, ready to be thrown on. Meantime, the German Timothy Kitsbayer begins as Alan Shearer's partner. The other question marks concern the central defence. Laurent Chavez is fit to start there. This, Ray, is how they're going to form up.
Well, again, it'll be a 4-4-2 situation. It'll be very interesting to see how Laurent Chavez plays, because he's very, very short of match practice. And, of course, Kitsbayer and Alan Shearer up the front. We know what Alan Shearer is capable of. Kitsbayer on his day is equally effective, but sometimes has off days. But if those two are on form, then certainly I'll test David May and Ronnie Johnson in the Man United central defensive areas.
Only 5 of that team, incidentally, started against Arsenal last year. Check on the subs today, the two benches. Certainly some quality there. A few bobs worth of talent waiting their chance, Ray.
Well, there is. When you look at Man United substitutes, Teddy Sheringham and people like that, you know, Dwight Yorke. I mean, it's incredible the number of people who are actually there on the subs bench.
In fact, looking there, Dwight Yorke wasn't among the subs. We thought he was going to be. There he is. In fact, that's an error there on the caption. It will be Dwight Yorke. Couldn't believe they'd have left him out of the 16. Today's referee is Peter Jones from Loughborough. He also took charge of last season's League Cup final here. He's officiated in the Charity Shield as well, so it's a trio, a treble for him. His two assistants, David Babsky and Phil Sharp, and the 4th official is Mike Riley. 31 matches now since Manchester United were last beaten. Only 3 Premier League defeats all season. Their form has been simply awesome in their 3-pronged assault on the major honours. In contrast, Newcastle, under Ruud Gullit, have had really only the FA Cup on which to focus, and they won't take too much comfort from their run into the final. They won only one of the last 10, and none since the semi-final win over Spurs. The form book sides with Manchester United, the league champions, but so often through the years this grand old competition has defied logic. Remember Wimbledon in '88, Sunderland in '73. The first ever FA Cup final between 2 Uniteds. And remember, it has to be settled today. For the first time, there will be no replays. Alex Ferguson hoping there won't be even a need for extra time. But Ruud Gullit will have other ideas. And he will certainly have his tactics right. He hopes anyway in his mind. Hoping they can be relayed to the pitch, which is in perfect condition as ever. Looking absolutely immaculate. It was Solano, the Peruvian, the first Peruvian, needless to say, I think, ever to play in an FA Cup final. Here he is now. Big following for him back home in his own country. Robley with the first strike at goal. Then went Petspire, and a little too aggressively for the liking of referee Jones. But a bright start by Newcastle.
Yes, they obviously set the stall out. They're going to go at United. They're not going to sit back. They're going to try and take the game to them. They've started very positively and showed the desire of Petspire there, bundling into the back of Ronnie Johnson. And quite rightly, the referee giving a free kick. Already a ball change. Obviously, some of the United players not happy with that. Mr. Jones has agreed with them, and we have a new ball very early in the game.
Well, they haven't scored with it, have they? Robley, who's won his place back under Ruud Gullit. He'd been out of favour for a while. The man who led them here last season. In goes Paul Scholes, a place in the heart of the midfield for him, alongside Roy Keane. Aggressive challenge on him then by Gary Speed. Speed and the axis in midfield for Newcastle today. Safely through to Peter Schmeichel. Such a reliable last line of defence. Hard to believe he's going. There's the tackle on Keane. A signal there of Gary Speed's intent.
Well, I think so, and also, you know, Newcastle's enthusiasm to get on in this game. There was 2 players there challenged Paul Scholes, one being Dietmar Hamann, and he certainly took a knock on his right-hand side there. I think actually up on the thigh area or the hip area, and it looks quite painful at the moment, and I think he's actually going over towards the bench at the moment.
German international Didi Hamann, what a key figure he has been during the cup run. Keane and Hobbit as well. Certainly after that challenge from Gary Speed. Steve Harper with the kick, launched towards Alan Shearer. The ball for Solano. Schmeichel just for a moment then I thought he'd lost his grasp on it. Sweetly struck by Solano.
Well, it's a good strike from Solano, and Peter Schmeichel, a bit unorthodox, doesn't catch it cleanly, and gets it to the second attempt. But Man United have got a big problem with Roy Keane at the moment. He's signalled to the bench that he's got a problem. It might be that ankle injury he had 2 or 3 weeks ago, but he is limping around very gingerly, and he's not the sort of player to be pulling faces and limping if he isn't really hurt.
Alex Ferguson has sent 3 of the subs along the touchline on the far side, sending them off to go through their paces in case someone is needed early on here. Speed getting forward for Newcastle. The chance for Keane to receive some attention. He's looking worried now, Alex Ferguson. Keane, who is so essential to the United game plan, and how they're going to miss him in the Champions League final on Wednesday against Bayern Munich. But is he going to continue in this game? Well, Dwight York is on the bench today. So is Teddy Sheringham, Yapstam, Jesper Blomqvist. What do you feel there if Keane has to go off, Ray?
Well, defensively, you Johnson could come into the middle of the field and Stam could go at the back. But I'm sure he doesn't want to put him on this early in the game. So you might well look at Blomqvist coming on, possibly bringing Giggs over to the right-hand side, moving Beckham into the middle, and letting Blomqvist play down that left-hand side. But looks like he's going to try and play on with it, but he's certainly not looking happy.
In some distress at the moment. Roy Keane playing in his 5th FA Cup final. He also featured, remember, for Nottingham Forest against Tottenham back in '91. Soldiering on for the moment anyway. There's young Griffin with the back pass. Griffin, who was man of the match in the semi-final win over Tottenham. Absolutely outstanding in curtailing the threat of David Ginola. Headed by Rob Lee down the Newcastle right. In goes Gary Neville. Giggs, Keane. Clearly he's looking to run it off. Check off that injury. Neville now. Under pressure. Got Deepa Haman, who followed right through. And I think he's going to be in trouble here with referee Jones. He clattered right into him then, Haman.
Yes, I mean, it's a silly tackle from behind there. He did catch Philip Neville, and as I say, Newcastle United, their keenness to come at Manchester United, they're getting stuck in and creating havoc really in United. They've clattered into Philip Neville, clattered into Paul Scholes, and certainly clattered into Roy Keane, who for me, I don't think he can continue.
Yellow card confirmed for Dietmar Hamann. Keane in obvious distress. As for Blomqvist, he get his chance earlier than he might have anticipated. Here's David Beckham. Hold on to Cole, who's offside. The Newcastle backline has squeezed up. And Bisas in the centre, Domi on the left and Griffin on the right. That man who will have more than a passing interest, of course, in the Champions League final. It's his former club, Manchester United, are taking on. Keane won't be there, out through suspension. Is his season going to be over? It's looking that way. Sheringham, another option on the bench. That was Shearer. Out by David May. Who's in for Yap Stam at the back. We're a little surprised that Stam is featuring at all today. He's on the bench. Troubled by an ankle problem. Now it's Giggs racing away. Good anticipation then by Domi to thwart the threat of Andy Cole. There's some different at the back end from Shearer. He's got away with it. I think Sheringham was going to come off for Keane any second now. One would have to say, Greg Clements alongside me here. Newcastle won't be too pleased to see him go. Having said that, it was a bad tackle.
Yes, it was a poor tackle, but you see, Newcastle set the stall out and they're not giving United any time at all, and it has upset United's flow of play without a shadow of a doubt. And it'll be very interesting when Teddy Sheringham comes on to see how they will then line up. I presume that Solskjaer will go and play either on the right-hand side or go and play on the left-hand side of midfield where he has played before. And then they can move Beckham into the centre of midfield with Scholes. It'll be very interesting to see how they're going to adjust in the middle of the field, the loss of who has been a key man throughout this season for them.
It's a very sad sight for Manchester United fans as Roy Keane trips dejectedly off. On comes Teddy Sheringham. Instructions there for Ryan Giggs. Will it promise his team will be committed? They have certainly been that. He feels they've been holding back, subconsciously or otherwise. Shot go wide here from Gunnar Solskjaer.
Well, it appears that what they are going to do is that Solskjaer is going to come and play on this right-hand side, releasing Beckham to go and play in the middle there with Paul Scholes. So there's just the one positional change there, but David Beckham's very, very comfortable in there, but United will miss his crossing ability from wide areas.
Remember back in '95 they lost Steve Bruce injured early on, and of course they went on to lose the game against Everton. Ferguson played his part in that. Ferguson on the bench for Everton today. Keane taking no further part in the final. His season is over. I understand we're looking decidedly distraught. Up goes David May. Now Beckham. Free kick to United. Put together this fantastic run. Been beaten now since back in December. The league champions going for best ever third double. No one has ever done it before. Andy Cole, good play by him. Here's Sheringham. That was neatly done too, and it's Scholes sliding it on to Sheringham. Oh, what an entrance from Teddy Sheringham. He's only been on the field a couple of minutes. That is some impact.
Well, Sheringham started it, Andy finished it, and it was a tremendous move. It actually went through Steve Harper's legs in the end as he came out, but I mean, it was all... Teddy Sheringham showed composure on the ball, always knew what it was. Good play by Cole in the first place. I'm not sure that was meant for Teddy Sheringham, but a wonderful touch. Ball lined up, and I'm not sure that Steve Harper really should have come there. But just watch here as a delightful ball from Paul Scholes. Harper comes through his legs. I think Harper possibly just showed his inexperience rushing out there, and the defender possibly might have dealt with it better.
He is a player of such outstanding instinct, and he has underlined that again. Teddy Sheringham on 11 minutes gives Manchester United the lead. Just when it seemed they were in serious trouble, having lost their captain Roy Keane. Way by May, back up Newcastle now with Ketspire. Some pushing seen by the referee, by Hammad, who was really fired up for this game.
Well, he needs to be careful, doesn't he, because he's already been booked in the first few minutes. But look at this disguised pass by Paul Scholes. He looks like he's hitting it, slides it down the side, and there's the ball through Harper's legs. And I just wonder if Harper has stayed somewhere around the 6-yard line, he might have had a better opportunity of saving it.
Absolute elation for Alex Ferguson. What a mixture of emotions down there on the bench for him. His captain having to go off, but the man who's replaced him coming on to score almost instantly. How can Shearer's team respond now? Sheringham, whose season has been blighted by injury, but he has been back in the frame lately. Played a big part in the semi-final, of course, in the replay. He was his prize choice along with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Helped to create the goal, I remember, for David Beckham. And then Giggs, of course, with that sensational winner. Up goes Shearer. Ronnie Johnson had the measure of it, though. Well, he went to Manchester United, he says, not just to win trophies, but now he has honours. His first, of course, the League Championship. Is he going to win another one today? As Ferguson's team bid for the historic treble. Part 2 today. The final instalment to come in Barcelona on Wednesday night. Meantime, it's Lee for Newcastle. Shearer has that ability to hold the ball up so well. He was clearly impeded there. There's some entrance from the former Tottenham man. Shattering blow for Hullet's team. Says he's not too worried that they've lost a winning habit, but do begin to wonder. Only one win in the last 10, remember, nothing since the semi-final, and they did play so well to come through against Tottenham. There's Shearer, who's only just back after injury. He's had 6 or 7 weeks out. So it was touch and go as to whether he would play today. I think they need him at the back. His pace and his ability to read the game. He's on the ball now. The Frenchman Laurent Shearer. Straight to Solskjaer as it skipped off his head. Timore Ketspire. Last year the first Georgian to play in an FA Cup final. A few continentals in this match today again. The last time the team came from behind to win the FA Cup final, Ray Clements would know this one, Spurs against Forest back in '91. Referee bringing the play back here for a free kick to Manchester United. It's a really tough assignment. It was anyway for Newcastle, even more so now that they have suffered this early setback. Here's Phil Neville. Played up towards Andy Cole. I think thought his place might have been in jeopardy today. Wondered if Ferguson might keep him back for Wednesday. Certainly that's the case with Dwight York, who I'm sure will start in the Nou Camp. Gary Speed now, hit long towards Shearer. Johnson blocking his path. Here's Robert Lee, Kitzbauer, and then Griffin. Patient build-up here from Newcastle. Lee with a chance to cross it in. It's not a bad ball either. Shearer lurking in the centre and with the predator. The referee has seen some pushing.
Well, Gary Neville does well here. Lovely ball down the side, and Gary Neville doesn't let Alan Shearer. Look at him, just stop him getting a jump there. Stops him from getting a run. And Alan Shearer then has to climb all over him. This is the goal again. That's a wonderful disguised pass for Teddy Sheringham to strike.
So much to admire on the goal. The vision of Scholes, the finishing of Sheringham, who was in from the start on the move. Minutes gone, and the early edge lies with Manchester United. Gary Neville, 4 options in the centre, wearing the red of United. That goes Giggs, well off into Beckham. It's Ryan Giggs again. He's got the ball in play. Again, fine anticipation from Shearer at the back. For Newcastle, Beckham. Put on by Solskjaer, a little tentatively though. Here's Beckham again. Griffin's tackle was firm, was positive, and it was legal. Well, that one wasn't from Beckham. Referee Jones just wanting a quiet word with the England man.
Well, I think that was a tackle to. That was a tackle because of Griffin's tackle on Ryan Giggs. I think David Beckham thought, right, I'll give one back here.
Here's Neville. Again underlining his versatility today. He can play in so many positions. He may well find himself in central midfield in Barcelona. No Keane, no Scholes. There might be a role for him there. On by Speed. Now it's Haman, who's deadly from long range. United kept the door shut though, and firmly so. In goes Solskjaer, that was late. With his man riding on the ground. Very Speed, who has profited so much on the Ruud Gullit. This game really has taken off this season. He took off there, under the way to the challenge from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Well, we've seen Haman strike some wonderful shots from this sort of distance throughout the season. It's a big game for him and a big moment for him now to try and get his teammates back in it.
Solano alongside the Peruvian. Here is Solano. He's hit it well. Not quite well enough. Remember, Diego Maradona was always praising Solano when he went back to Boca Juniors for a while. Training Maradona, he was calling him the little maestro from free kicks.
Well, Schmeichel always had that call, but I think he was very, very calm, walked across as though he was just waving to somebody on a shopping trip. It wasn't that far away, was it?
I think it's about 9 o'clock in the morning back in Peru, and I gather everyone there is up watching the final. Solano has made a decent impression since coming to St James's Park. He's made himself a third favourite for the fans too. Scholes working hard in the midfield. He was just clipped there. The man continuing to live dangerously. He is the man you feel who can inspire Newcastle if they are to cut back here. Giggs. Sheringham. He's again to whip it across just beyond Andy Cole. Here's Solano. Paul Scholes in the way. Scholes, of course, scored a hat-trick on his last appearance here for England against Poland. You were with England pick that day, Ray. It was some performance from Scholes.
Well, it certainly was, but it was just like another day at the office with Paul Scholes. Nothing seems to faze him. He scored a hat-trick in an England game, and he's going home with a ball, and he looks almost embarrassed by it. And that's the sort of lad he is. He's a tremendous player, and you know, in a situation like they're in at the moment, Man United, you need people who can control their emotions, and certainly Scholes is one of those.
Shearer into handball, not given by referee Jones. Johnson then to pump it forward again for United. There's Hamann, Scholes. Could spell this for Ferguson's team, threatening to add to their early advantage. It's Ryan Giggs. Neville romping away down that left side. It's not to be collected in the end by Harper. He's come through at the back end of the season to play this basic goal ahead of Shea Given. Come from nowhere, really. 5 years or so at the club. It's the first time he's had any kind of run in the team. And he's in on merit too, make no mistake about that. Sheringham, an early substitute and an early scorer in this FA Cup final.
And to be fair to United, any quality move they put together, Teddy Sheringham invariably has instigated it. He's the one who's getting his foot on the ball and bringing players into the game, whereas still some of the United players, they're still hurrying and scurrying, and the ball's not being played as they used to. But certainly Teddy, he's got that confidence. Give me it, I'll hold on to it, and we'll build from me.
Scholes will be so keen to make his mark today, knowing that he will miss out on the Champions League final. Beckham, who will certainly be there. Here's Giggs now. On to Sheringham. Such an intelligent player, Teddy Sheringham. He's taken a while really to win over the United fans. So many problems with injuries earlier in the season. Back with a vengeance now. Here's Giggs. Wonderful control. Not so the delivery. Andy Cole looking to attack the cross in the centre. Solskjaer, 17 goals this season from only 16 starts. Quite a few as a substitute, of course, including 4 in one match against Nottingham Forest. They won 8-1 away from home. Not a bad man to bring on and bring into this game, as Ferguson has right from the start. Domi, French under-21 international. Neville staying with him. He's such an odd grip defender, Gary Neville. Well then to repel the threat of Didier Domi. Came from Paris Saint-Germain. Perhaps with the same youth setup as Anelka down at Arsenal, but I think Domi rather happy with his surroundings up in Newcastle than Anelka seems to be in London. Andy Cole, unchallenged. Giggs certainly was. Another thunderous tackle from Griffith. He doesn't hold back this young fellow.
Well, it's one of those situations where he's gone in to try and make his presence known on Ryan Giggs, and has finished up getting his own nose blooded, with Ryan Giggs falling on him quite heavily.
Saw a fair bit of Griffin when he was at Stoke. Played mainly on the left then, almost exclusively indeed on the left, but in it right back in this current Newcastle side. As I mentioned earlier, did a really accomplished job snuffing out the threat of Ginola. And Hullet will be hoping for much the same today against Ryan Giggs. Griffin okay. Beckham and Giggs organising this free kick for Manchester United. Johnson is up from the back, May as well. Sheringham so nearly made contact there. And the marking was none too clever, you would have to say, from Newcastle.
Well, that will go down in my book as a chance again for Teddy. Just watch the space he runs. There's a big hole there, and Teddy's in there. Maybe just over his head. He's reached in a little bit too much. You'd be worried that he gets that sort of freedom there. Nobody's marking him closely, and if he gets his head on it, there's a possible second goal.
Up by Hamann. It's back up for United. Now Andy Cole. Solskjaer. Shearer, we gather, in talks with Alex Ferguson about his future. Not too happy at the lack of playing action in terms of starting matches. But of course, Ferguson has assured him he has a big part to play, especially with so many matches in the Champions League next season. Cole is offside here. So quick out of the blocks, Andy Cole. No easy task for the referee's assistant, but the flag was clearly raised. To the relief of Steve Harper in that Newcastle goal. You seen much of Harper, Ray?
Yes, I have, yeah, and I've liked what I've seen. I say I was a little bit. I'm not exactly convinced he made the right decision with the first goal. We certainly made the right decision there, coming out, taking ball, and dumping Andy Cole on his bum as well. But you know, obviously it's just that experience, and you know, your first appearance at Wembley had nothing to do really until that goal situation arrived, and it was his first major decision. And maybe he would look back and think he would deal with it differently later in his career, or even later in this game.
Well, his future career is now with Newcastle. He's just agreed a new 3-year contract. That was Scholes. David May, relishing his opportunity at the starting 11. He didn't begin enough matches to win a medal in terms of the championship. Man showing commendable aggression. On the catch by, just couldn't take it in his stride though, and it enabled Ronnie Johnson to mop up at the back for United.
Well, it's again delightful ball from a man, and if Spire can sort his feet out, he's got a goal-scoring opportunity, and he also had Solano giving him support.
Not sure about United's marking then either. Here's Domi now to Solano, trying to thread it on to Simone Ketspire. He's always lively, always vibrant, whatever role he plays for Newcastle. Today he's up front in tandem with Shearer. Griffin's cross, dealt with by May. Sticks, swooping it on, and there's only Cole upfield. Easily intercepted by Shearer. Now Babizas. He hasn't been as consistent this season as he was in the last campaign. He's quick, he's very strong. And he has formed a good partnership with Shearer when they've been together. Griffin is keeping one partner out of the team at the moment. This is Domi on the other side. There was one other option open to Hully, to include the more defensively aware Hart, perhaps in place of Solano. Shearer penalised. He had 2 goals against Tottenham, earned them this place in the final. Attacking here with Ronnie Johnson. It's going to be quite a contest between the two. Johnson is no slouch at the back. Sheringham is the target. Passing with Babizas, up goes Cole with Shearer. Cole's kept it in too. And Harper had to be alert and have his wits about him as Cole hooked it back. He's actually a Shea Given lookalike. There's not much to choose between the two when you look out from here. Taller Steve Harper, he does tend to command his penalty box a little more. So as Ray was saying, he might have a look at himself on the goal scored by Sheringham. And if Ray Clement says he was suspect, then I'll go along with that. He knows more about goalkeeping than me. Don't you? I would hope so.
Hopefully.
Newcastle's free kick. The bright sunshine of Wembley. They had a bright start, but United have had the breakthrough, thanks to Terry Sheringham. As a substitute for the injured Roy Keane. Shearer. Right here with Domi. Now speed in the engine room for Newcastle. Seeking out Shearer, but he's offside. He just pulled away then from Neville.
You do worry yet again with this Newcastle side, as last year and as at times during the season. There we see Alan Shearer in an offside position, but is where they're going to get the crosses in the last third of the field, and that's what Alan Shearer needs. When you're knocking them in from around the halfway line, you're giving him no chance whatsoever. You've got to get into that last third of the field in wide areas. Then he'll cause a big problem for United. But at the moment, Newcastle haven't managed to do that.
They They're certainly battling, they're certainly competitive. Shearer, who's had his critics this season, he has scored 21 goals and 3 more for England. He says, hang on a moment, that's all Andy Cole's got. Of course, he set such high standards for himself, Shearer. And any hint that he might be falling below those standards, and his critics are out in force. Most of the time without justification. Free kick here to Manchester United. Frustration for Ketsbaia, who will be mighty relieved to be playing today. Seeing Ferguson in reserve and waiting for his chance. Ketsbaia himself rather unhappy that he doesn't play too often, or often enough for his liking anyway. He says, if you're not going to pick me, I'll be off. Not the first footballer to say that. Here's Solskjaer. To sharing up an intelligent layoff. It's Beckham to fire it just wide. Very dangerous from long range, David Beckham.
Well, he is, and he's a good goal-scoring form at the moment. You know, he fancies his chances here. He sees the space, just cuts across the top of the ball, doesn't connect with it cleanly, but give him too many of those chances and he'll get them on target. Don't worry about that.
The man who sparked the revival, of course, last weekend against Tottenham. And Manchester United, a goal down, came back to clinch the title. Their 5th in 7 years. And they're bidding here to win the FA Cup for the 4th time in the 90s. It's a phenomenal record. Held by Johnson on Shearer. Trots without complaint into the middle. To be joined by Chabet, Dabizas. Both useful in the air. Carry speed as well. He's called in. Handed over the top by speed. Rather off balance. He's got his quota of goals down the years, carry speed. A disciplined player these days under Hullett. No slouch in the penalty box. Often makes those timely surges through from midfield. Just as I was saying, they're more disciplined these days, and when he makes them. Scholes on to Sheringham. He's found some space too. Good anticipation by Domi. And now jumping Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Will be champing at the bit to impress up front. And then being given his opportunity today. Preference to Dwight York. York and Cole has been the first choice combination, of course, for most of the season. 53 goals between them. Will they be reunited, I wonder, later in the match? By Chabet. There's Beckham. Now then to Gary Neville. The flick on was from Sheringham, from Solskjaer, rather. More danger then for Newcastle. Giggs. Sheringham trying to hook it across. Finally away, but only as far as David Beckham. Solskjaer. Cole! Is this going to be another one? Oh, hooked away. Almost under the crossbar. And he's asked to the rescue. I think he's hurt himself in the process. So nearly another goal for United. Beckham. They're buoyant now. Alex Ferguson's team. One up and looking for more. Certainly not sitting on this lead. But Ketsbaia now breaking for Newcastle. He's got Solano in support. Still Ketsbaia. Shearer at his far post. Goes Haman. Timely block on him. Speed then over the bar. That was an important challenge by Ronnie Johnson.
Well, he quickly put pressure on to Haman there, didn't he? But it was the other end of the field at Solskjaer there. He had a marvellous chance, delightful ball from Beckham out here, and Gary Neville picks out Solskjaer, see him free at the near post. That's a golden opportunity. It really was. Look at him holding his head, he knows, but that was a really golden opportunity. And here all of a sudden, Steve Harper coming again, and Andy Cole doesn't quite make good contact with it, otherwise it would be 2-0.
Dabizas. On by Griffin to Robert Lee. It was a great ball, very nearly anyway. Johnson just stood his ground in the nick of time there against Shearer. If not, the England captain would have been on his way. Griffin. Speed then to take it on. This is Didier Domi. Gives Newcastle good taste down the left side, but he does get forward. Inspire after this one. May was there though. Then Neville, some excellent work. Sending off first Solano, then Speed. Who did catch him. Neville with the free kick. Sheringham right up front, alongside Cole. Solskjaer dropping off. In goes Cole now. A little ball for Robert Lee. 10 minutes of the first half to go. Inspire had shown to Lee up front. Griffin. Neville with a foot in. Woodward standing just a few yards back from the touchline. Hands in pockets as ever. Never seems too fazed by it all. I'm sure he'll be hoping to plot his team's recovery come the second half. They haven't got one back by the net. United leading by 1-0. And here's Kitspire now for Newcastle. Didier Domi. Kitspire again. He's got Hammond to his right. This is Hammond. Away from Scholes. Still deep by Hammond. Great stop by Schmeichel. And squirmed away from him. Too hot to handle. Well, that's the danger to Manchester United when Dietmar Hammond is in that kind of striking position.
Well, he is. He works the move very well himself, strikes it well, and that's a very, very good save by Schmeichel. Difficult position to get down to, got his both hands down there, directed it out for a corner, but Hammond there made that for himself and tested Schmeichel for the first time in the game.
Kitspire. Back in by Lee. Johnson coming out on top against Abizas. Referee Jones seeing nothing wrong there. No real protest in fairness from Abizas. Rather clumsy, but nothing untoward really from Ronnie Johnson. Good play by Cole. He's worked it on now to Scholes. Giggs freed up the left side for a moment. Here's Beckham here, dispossessed though. And the urgency of Gary Speed. It's Hammond now. Sending it on to Kitspire. Beckham's challenge. And now the referee has blown for the free kick. And it's been fiercely contested so far. The 118th FA Cup final. Going Manchester United's way at the moment, but Newcastle here coming back. Schmeichel forced into that splendid save from Hammond. We'll be looking to test him again now. Solano is there as well. This is Hammond. Not this time. He has made a big impact with Newcastle this season. The German international took a while to settle on Tyneside.
He strikes it with lots of power, but it was always going wide. Alan Shearer with an outstretched foot, trying to get a touch on it to direct it back towards Schmeichel's goal, but by Hammond's standards, that was really a disappointing one.
Newcastle playing in their 13th final. They've been winners on 6 previous occasions. Shearer. Ideally, he would love to hold that trophy aloft come the end of today's final. Means so much to him as a Geordie. Manchester United fans, of course, have never forgiven him for choosing Newcastle ahead of their team. Neville's cross, great 1-2 for Shearer! Fabulous ball in, and Shearer with that darting header on the end of the cross.
You can see, look at Gary Neville saying, this is coming to you, Teddy. Come towards that near post. Exactly what Teddy does. Just can't direct it. But it's a wonderful ball in by Gary Neville, and loads of power from Teddy Sheringham. Just can't get it onto target.
Well, these balls really being played into the box are giving Newcastle problems.
Well, the difference is that certainly in Gary Neville's case, he's getting down into that last third of the field and supplying quality balls in from there. Unfortunately, in Newcastle's case, they're not getting into those areas to get the balls in.
Giggs to Cole. Neat slick into passing here from Manchester United. Off goes Phil Neville. Now Giggs. Bending over his cross. It's too long though. Overhit for Andy Cole. Solano can collect now for Newcastle. He had only 11 wins in the Premier League last season. Very erratic campaign. And obviously save best performances for the FA Cup, as they did last year. Shearer now caught offside. Linked with Manchester United, of course, before his move to Newcastle from Blackburn. He turned them down in favour of his hometown club. And the chance to link up with Kevin Keegan as well. A chance to win trophies. And Newcastle have had their opportunities, that's for sure. Neville. It's a foul by Cole on Lee. Working prodigiously up front though, Andy Cole. Who it was, he would have been really disappointed when we left out today, even if he was down to start on Wednesday. Ferguson, we gather, nearly made it. He has his groin operation coming up on Monday, and well, it must have been tempted to put him in from the start. He'll certainly be tempted to put him on late on, Ray.
Well, I'm sure if it carries on like this into the last 20 minutes of the game that we'll see him, because I'm sure that although he's having an operation on Monday, that he can manage 20 minutes at least and have an influence on this game.
Beckham. Cabe. Again, good anticipation from the Frenchman. He was with Chelsea at the back end of last season in the League Cup final. Didn't feature though. Moving on then to Newcastle. Kenny Dalglish had been impressed by him when he played at centre-back for Chelsea. A fairly rare occasion that he had performed in that position. It was more from the knock or wing-back during his time at Stamford Bridge. It's been a relatively brief one. It through to Harper, beaten by Teddy Sheringham's goal on 11 minutes, the 250th, incidentally, of Sheringham's career. What drama here. Keane having to go off, Sheringham replacing him, and scoring almost immediately. To the delight of the Manchester United fans here in this magnificent atmosphere. Red and white to my left, black and white to my right. All making for a fabulous occasion. I'm sure many a twist or turn to come in this game yet. Off goes Cole. Now he's out striding out with him. The company. Domi. Shearer's the target. Should be Johnson's ball though. And Neville put under pressure. And the energy of Robert Lee. Michael Lee's last chance of an honour with Newcastle. He's been with them since the early 90s, of course. Such a favourite up on Tyneside. Really flourished under Kevin Keegan. Not so in the early days of Hullett. In favour now. Sheringham. Not on the same wavelength though as Andy Cole. Game just going off the boil a little at the moment, Ray.
Yes, it has. I mean, we're not far away from half-time now, a minute or so away from half-time, and certainly there's been some good football in this first half. Man United have played the most of it, to be fair. Newcastle have had little 5-minute spells, but overall, the difference is that, you know, United are putting more passes together, whereas Newcastle are battling so hard to win the ball, but when they win it, they give it away cheaply and can't get the consistent pressure onto the United back four.
Their approach has certainly been tenacious so far, Newcastle. Just need a bit more quality going forward when they do advance. Not really unsettled Manchester United too often. United will be hoping fatigue doesn't set in. That's why Alex Ferguson utilises his resources so often, switches players around, brings others in, keeping as many fresh as possible. One more big game to come. And what a game too, that Champions League final against Bayern Munich in Barcelona. United having come through two monumental clashes with the Italian clubs, Inter and Juventus, to earn their place in the final. It's Cole now, away from Davizas. Shearer was there, and Harper with a dreadful clearance. It's Cole now, might go for goal, Andy Cole. There was no sting in the shot. Deciding there to go it alone.
Well, again, Steve Harper not catching the ball correctly, and it opens up here for Andy Cole, but on his weaker left foot there, doesn't really strike it. This is going to cause Harper a problem.
It's back up now. No question about his desire today. Pulled out though by Solano, then Domi trying to thread it back to Solano. Neville is there to tidy up for United. Their 15th FA Cup final. Winners on a record 9 occasions. Is it going to be 10 today? Are they going into double figures? Solano. It was just a stumble then from gets by, no more than that. And Philip Neville happy to settle for the goal kick.
Not too sure what sort of boots Getspires got on here today, because every time the ball's come around him, he seems to be falling over, slipping over, stumbling over. Because to be fair, he's had 2 or 3 little openings if he could have sorted his feet out, and we know he's capable of it, but if he could have sorted his feet out, they could have caused United some damage.
And his enthusiasm in this first half, like all the Newcastle players, being relentless really, but they will go in a goal down. Thanks to the strike from Teddy Sheringham, was beautifully created, beautifully taken. Only a couple of minutes after he had been replaced, or he had replaced Roy Keane, who now leaps away to the dressing rooms. Bullet for the task of reigniting his team's challenge in the second half. This is why Keane was unable to continue. It was Gary Speed who caught him. On came Sheringham, and what an impact he was to make. Scores with that wonderful pass through, and Sheringham to drive it in. Euphoria for Alex Ferguson, Manchester United getting the early lead they wanted. Unable to build on it for all their attractive football. Newcastle have had their moments too, and it's all set up for the second half here in the FA Cup final, the last of the 20th century. Manchester United are leading Newcastle United by a goal to nil. Well, we wondered how long it would be before Duncan Ferguson made his entrance. The answer is he's on for the second half, and no question. No comments alongside me here. They have to try something, change something, and he just might be the answer.
Well, certainly he'll give them something different, but certainly the way they've been playing the first half, because they've been playing balls up to Alan Shearer with no hope for him, and have to deal with it. Well, the problem that they've got is that although Ferguson has come on, which would be a bonus for him, he's replaced Haman. Now, I think that's from a knock that he got very early in the game. And Haman really has been the one person in the midfield who's looked like he might be able to break from there. We saw him make an excellent shot, which Michael had to make a very, very good save from towards the end of the first half. So they've gained something, but I think they've lost something as well.
Manchester United kicking from right to left as we look now, starting the second half. Looks as if it's Getspire slotted into midfield, place vacated by Haman. But I'm sure he will be told to advance at every opportunity in support of Ferguson and Shearer. Ferguson, who has hardly played in the last few weeks, of course, but he came on to help change the course of the semi-final. It's an awesome prospect for Manchester United to face the threat in the air of Duncan Ferguson. Signed for £8 million earlier in the season. Speed and Ferguson, two former Everton men. Inspired, yes, he's slotting in alongside Gary Speed.
What they'll try and do, they'll try and tuck Solano in alongside Gary Speed and Robert Lee and just give Ketspire a little bit of freedom to break from that middle of the field to join the front two.
They've certainly got to show adventure. Ferguson trying to knock it on in search of Shearer. That'll be the game plan. Shearer needs the service to thrive on. He's such a handful if he's in form, and what we don't know, of course, is how serious his injury is. I think the operation he's going in for is only a tidying up operation as such. How much will his mobility be restricted, I wonder here?
Well, I wouldn't have thought they'd have risked him on the bench if they weren't confident he could play at least half an hour. Because to have him on the bench, if he couldn't play at least that, really seems a waste of time. So he's not having to play a lot more than that. So I'm pretty confident that he will get through it.
Maybe more if it goes to extra time. Remember, there are no replays this year. Extra time, and if needed, a penalty shootout. Excellent work in by Lee, releasing Ketspire. This is promising now for Newcastle. Ketspire. The goal, but not extending Peter Schmeichel in any way. Is a measure of the size of Newcastle's task. Manchester United have lost only 5 times in 61 games this season. These Newcastle fans have come here in their halls today, at least expecting a better show than last season. That wouldn't be too difficult. Remember, for much of the game, they were shouting attack, attack, attack. They weren't too happy with the way the team had approached the match.
No, well, certainly they can't fault Newcastle's commitment and passion in this game. Maybe they've overcommitted at times, and that's why there's been 1 or 2 knocks and bruises. But they can't fault that, that's a certainty. What they can fault in the first half is that there wasn't enough quality shown in certain areas to actually open up United.
They need more guile, they need more invention. What we do have now is a battering ram up front in the shape of Ferguson. We're looking to reach this cross here. Goes Neville. Ferguson, tall, angular figure. He might get a sniff of this one. Oh, he's got a piece of it. The referee has ruled against him. And I think Ray's mere arrival, his entrance in the second half has lifted Newcastle morale, certainly on the terraces.
Well, you see, he got a free header there in the first place, which nobody was about to challenge him, and the ball's not there. You just see him give David May a little knock there, which allowed him to break through. Schmeichel had it covered, but just his sheer presence, when you're playing against somebody like that, a high percentage of the balls you're not going to win, and you've got to deal with the second balls, and that's certainly what United will be trying to do, and also not to get pinned back in and around the 18-yard area, where if he wins any headers there, it could be costly.
He has a big physical presence, Duncan Ferguson. Speed tightly on to Griffin. Sending off a challenge of Andy Cole, the former Newcastle man. So fond of the woman, of course, up on the right side. His 68 goals, Cole, in just 84 appearances for Newcastle. It was Domi giving it away. In carelessly to Beckham. Showing his aggression in the tackle. Now it's Cole. Trying to spin away from Chabet. Good block there by the Frenchman. In goes Ketspire. A frenetic start to the second half. Shearer. Sheringham, whose goal divides the two teams. Griffin. It's the Newcastle fans who are raising their voices at the moment around Wembley. Giggs. Cole, slipping past Chabet. Sheringham through the defender, so is Solskjaer. Still Andy Cole. Just got clearance then by Davies, the Greek international. Here's Gary Speed. Fergie making a run down the far side. Solano with some slotty control. But now it is Solano. trumpet playing again, Solano. Newcastle don't mind if he plays it in the dressing room if they win.
Well, Schmeichel's going mad there because he felt he could deal with that ball, the initial ball, and Philip never put his foot on it, caused Schmeichel a problem. That's a couple of times now there's been a lack of communication between Philip and Schmeichel.
Play by David May. He has his work cut out now against the totemic figure of Duncan Ferguson. May, who hasn't featured too often in the Premier League team, getting his chance today in the absence of Yapstat. This is Ketspire for Newcastle. Good vision too. Now Domi needs a quality ball in here. Ferguson was waiting near post. Domi has forced a corner. It could have been more serious though for Manchester United, but he managed to supply the cross. They are visibly lifted now, those Newcastle fans. And they're hoping the arrival of Ferguson will be the catalyst for a revival. Neville to head it away. Manchester United on the back foot for the moment. They've lost only 5 of 52 FA Cup ties in the 90s. Tremendous record down the years. No handball. 2,000 Geordies thought otherwise. Domi, who won the French Cup last season with Paris Saint-Germain. Shearer almost worked it in then to Ferguson. There was a new zest about Newcastle now. You're tempted to ask why they didn't start with Ferguson, but he isn't fully fit, remember that. Here's Giggs now looking to show his acceleration. But Davies was quick too on his defensive mettle. Not the best of clearances though. He's put his teammates in trouble and Sheringham to score! An aberration by Davies, and it's kicked in a second goal to United. Scholes, the master goal poacher, strikes again.
Well, it was just as Newcastle started to take a little bit of control, but it's terrible play from Davies there. And then it's a wonderful layoff yet again by Teddy Sheringham. And how many times have we seen Paul Scholes score goals from that sort of area? Bags of space, keeps it low, drills it past Harper, gives him no real chance. But it was in the corner where the mistake was made. It was a ball, really, there was no problem whatsoever. Davies could have played it to safety and they could have got reorganised. But he played the ball back into midfield, and there we see what happened from the end of it.
The alertness of Solskjaer, the intelligence of Sheringham, and the clinical finishing of Paul Scholes. 2-0, Manchester United. 10 goals from Scholes during the campaign. Another one now, and maybe it's put this cup final beyond the reach of Newcastle United. He's a real picture of goals. And that one was beautifully struck. United with an injury at the moment. Solskjaer did well then to nip in. Sheringham just laying it off so tidily. And Scholes thumping it in past Steve Harper. Sheringham played his part, scored the first, was laid on the second. And United are very much in the driving seat. Beckham in the wars here. That's what it seemed though, that Newcastle were clawing their way back. Showing signs that they could make a match of this. Well, maybe they still can. But Paul Scholes has made it very difficult for them now.
It was amazing really because Newcastle started so positively. There looked one or two thoughts of a bit of panic in the United defence. Ferguson was getting his head on things, and it just looked as though maybe Newcastle could get into it, but one bit of thoughtlessness by Davies and United pounced, and what a killer blow it was from Scholes.
It's going to be really hard going now for Newcastle. Beckham is okay. It looks on. Ferguson hoping for a record 4th FA Cup win as a manager. They are certainly on the right road now. Shearer with a free kick for Newcastle. Urgently in need of a goal to raise their spirits. Off comes Cole for Manchester United. Now Ryan Giggs. I think he was looking for Scholes and maybe Solskjaer further over there. Not two down the right in space look.
So Steve Harper had read the situation quite well, but if it had been played wider, then he would have had a problem.
Giggs, who may well be heading for his 14th major trophy in a Manchester United shirt. Schmeichel called upon to clear. Not called upon for that but he's saved so far. And it would seem that Dwight Yorke is going to come on now. Over sliding there from Trinidad and Tobago. The first from that country to play an FA Cup final. I'm sure he'll have a big following back home. What a part he has played in Manchester United's magnificent season. With his 29 goals. Griffin to lead. Shearer looking to attack. Gets Bayer away from Schmeichel. Oh, what a clearance from David Bailey. Fantastic reaction there to deny Bayer a goal. I'm sure they would have proved much lighter than Newcastle. Giggs. Now Lee. Well, at least they can take heart from that Newcastle coming so close. Over Georgia, Timori gets by. Here's Derby. Now Ferguson. Moving fairly freely. Deckham. Well-weighted pass, Coles after it. Sunday unnerved. Here's the Dutchman again. He's putting it forward without conviction. Solano. Now gets by. Griffin. He hasn't kept it in. Loose ball.
Well, that's Peter Schmeichel panicking there, and I'm not too sure if that didn't hit the post. Yes, May was beaten, but it just hit the outside of the post there. But Schmeichel unfortunately flapped at the ball to start off with, which gave Spire the opportunity, and really, he should have definitely hit the target, shouldn't he?
He did hit the frame of the goal. He didn't get his foot to it. So unlucky, Bayer. Giggs trying to take off the ever enthusiastic Bayer. And now Beckham breaking for United. He's answered well. Back to the interception. Solano moving up front from Shearer and from Ferguson. This is Andrew Griffin. Lee, he looked to service Ferguson. That way he went. By David May. He's certainly in the right place. He didn't make that connection on the line. Gary Speed. There's Solano. With the clearance. United 2 goals to the good. Real test of Newcastle's character now. Beaten last year by Arsenal. Moving again at the moment in this final. Certainly giving it their all. Not too much in terms of aggression from Ferguson. Dwight Yorke, the current man of the season. Close of Andy Cole. Back to a defensive goal from the Manchester United bench. Two Calypso kids, one on for the other. What a season he's had, Dwight Yorke.
Well, he has, and he'll be so pleased to be on the pitch. It's a certainty. I mean, I would imagine that's the first sign of Ferguson, Alex Ferguson, looking at Wednesday night now. Doesn't want anything to happen to Andy Cole. Give Dwight York a little run out and let him be part of what's another marvellous occasion, it seems, for United.
Be back and take Cole off and bring on Dwight York. Most teams wouldn't mind that option. Taken quickly, and it's a flag to offside against Dwight York. The referee wants to take it again.
Well, when you think of the option, now got Dwight York, Solskjaer, Sheringham, Giggs, Scholes, Beckham, all so capable of scoring goals, and it's a wonderful option for Alex Ferguson.
They've scored goals in such irresistible fashion all season. Neville. Okay, so solid in the back for United today. He's enjoying the occasion now. He's totally relaxed. He won't mind his 2-goal cushion. And now United have the corner, conceded by Shearer. Beckham will take it. So often the creator of goals. Now he's gone forward. So is Ronnie Johnson. Here's Scholes, score of United's second goal. After the finish from Teddy Sheringham. This is Giggs, stretching Newcastle. Looking on with it. Oh, free header for York. You won't believe that he's failed to cut that one away. Unchallenged in the centre.
Well, you wonder if he'd have been on the field another 10 minutes or so, properly warmed up. He's pulled off his marker, free header, just can't get enough elevation in the jump to direct it down. A wonderful movement, pulled off Shearer, open goal, he just couldn't direct it down.
Totally unattended in the middle there. He couldn't steer it into the net. Dwight York of all people. Absolute revelation for United since his transfer from Aston Villa. Scored more. And York has 29 strikes. He's avoiding the build-up now with Beckham. Sheringham. Beckham again. That's Phil Neville. York. Went by Shearer. Neville. United with good possession here. And they find some penetration. Bill Neville again. Beckham. Burnley with York. And the strength to hold him off. Oh, wonderful link-up play. Scholes. Deflection. The Hillside round rolled wide. And they were toying with Newcastle then. It was a wonderful approach play.
I lost count of the passes then. It really was tremendous play. It's a delightful ball from York. And Scholes creates the opportunity for him. It just goes off Shearer and goes out for a corner kick. But the build-up play was outstanding there. You know, they must have had more than a dozen passes there. Keeping possession, dragging United all over.
United at their most enduring. Giggs. They've got the right foot of Ryan Giggs. Well, he delivered a goal of this and perhaps any other season in the semi-final. This wouldn't have been a bad one either.
Well, if that would have gone in, that would have definitely rivaled the one in the semi-final, because that's a tremendous strike. There's no way the keeper's going to save it. It looks at one stage it's going in, but since they've scored the second goal, really, it's been like exhibition football for Manchester United.
Fergie thought it was in. It was that close. They're turning on the style now. Off goes Dwight York. Sheringham through the middle in support. Still York. Got Giggs with him as well. That's Solskjaer. The deflection. Amazing escape for Steve Harper in that Newcastle goal. And they are being pounded now by Manchester United.
Well, they are, and this, you know, it's one chance after another. Solskjaer just can't control it right. His first touch doesn't take it where he wants it. And then Steve Harper spills it, and they're getting an awful mess, and they nearly let it roll into the net. I mean, at the moment, unfortunately, Newcastle are all over the show in every part of the field. And United are having an absolute field day at the moment.
Solano going to keep the ball in play. Newcastle at the moment can't get a sniff of this. The champagne football for Manchester United. The league champions going for the double. Going for the treble indeed. At this stage you'd have to say it's very much on the cards. Certainly the double. But a very hard night ahead of them against Bayern Munich in the Champions League final. One step at a time.
Well, that's right. If they achieve this, and you know, there's what, 66 minutes gone. They've got themselves into a winning position where really they don't have to keep their foot on the pedal. They can keep control of the game without going flat out, and that will be good for them with the European Champions final coming up. And you know, I would imagine Bayern Munich were hoping they'd get taken right to the wire and possibly to extra time, but the way it's going at the moment, I can only see United adding to their lead.
Which they are trying to do now. Solskjaer. Foxed by Domi. Sharing up, chesting it down. And they nip in. And deprive United of another goal-scoring opportunity. As goes Ketzmeyer. Solano. Now Griffin. Bearing down on goal, still Andrew Griffin. That's not a bad effort. Again in big trouble, Peter Schmeichel. And Newcastle are going to make another change. It's Marich who will be coming on. Case of Solano. And he's got to try something now. Even bringing on Ferguson hasn't quite had the desired effect. It's given United more to think about. There's the Croatian. To make quite the right impression on tight side after his move from Croatia. He's a very talented player. Newcastle had to fend off the interest of several other clubs and move from Italy's Serie A to acquire his services. Here's Domi. Ferguson is in the middle. And here's Ferguson now. Gets back! Well, he's come close, but not close enough.
Well, it's another good chance. I mean, again, the ball's played. Ferguson, a good touch. When you get these opportunities against United, you need to hit the target and try and test Schmeichel. And Ketzmeyer has had two golden opportunities. One particularly when Schmeichel spilled the ball. He had to hit the target then when he hit the post. And of course, there is a more difficult chance, but one that you've got to test the keeper, because United don't give you that many chances.
United heading for yet another double. It'll be their third of the 90s. Of course, in English football, fourth in 5 years, with Arsenal's triumph last season. Ferguson. Sloppy touch though, probably on a tired pass then from the Newcastle veteran. Newcastle, who haven't won a major trophy for 30 years. The Old Fairs Cup, their last triumph back in '69. Scholes. Ward darting ahead of him. Netherlands support down the right. Scholes has that ability to draw off and find space. Now it's Ryan Giggs. Get towards Shearer. He almost managed to nudge it on, and he has forced the corner. With 20 minutes to go. Corner kick given. Despite the efforts there of Harper. Beckham will swing this one over. Newcastle will survive, but Ronnie Johnson really added another one.
Well, his face tells the story. Look, he's free in that near post area. Can't get it down on target, but again, slack mark in the Newcastle defence allows a red shirt to go onto the end of a crossing situation, and he knows, well, we all know by the face he pulled, he felt he could have done better.
Fergie become the third Norwegian to win the FA Cup final. Frode Grodas of Chelsea was one. Who was the other, eh?
I think it might have been Eric Torsfield.
Torsfield for Tottenham. Alan Shearer. Looking to revive his fingertips. He hasn't even got the corner. Not his day.
Well, it's the linesman that's given the decision, and he's a lot closer than anybody. Well, to me, that's a corner.
He didn't concur with that opinion. Shearer, who said he felt so hurt, so drained when he saw Tony Adams collect the cup last season for Arsenal. At the moment, he's not going to be feeling any happier at the end of this match. Neville. To retreat against Tamori Kitsbayer. He certainly won't give up. He's allowed to finish the game. Lee to Kitsbayer. Put it to be higher than from Johnson. I think he's just claiming that Kitsbayer stood his ground. There was much at all from the Georgians. Neville letting it run through to Peter Schmeichel. Extended often enough for Newcastle's liking on his last game for United on home soil. Bizas cutting with York. York becomes the penalty then. Warming up. Don't think Ferguson will want to risk it today. This is absolutely necessary. They'll be keeping it that way for Wednesday night if it is fit.
Oh, I would think so, yes. I mean, United are so in control of the game that Alex Ferguson will be sat there, probably the most relaxed he's ever been in a cup final. They're 2-0 up, there's less than 20 minutes to go, and they're in control of the game, and at the moment there's no way you can see Newcastle getting back into this game. And,
goes Ferguson, scores away to Sheringham. Now Giggs. David Beckham. Sheringham's header, York. Almost took it in full stride. Again, Newcastle wavering at the back. It's the pace and penetration of Manchester United. Speed, trying to obey the challenge of Scholes, who just left his foot trailing. Speed. Up by Neville. It's Griffin to Robert Lee. Spotted Domi making a run down the left. This is Domi. Need to do something here. I think that came off here. Oh no, the referee says corner. Neville left the gasp.
Well, that makes up for the one that Shearer didn't get some 2 or 3 minutes earlier, I think, because this looks certainly to rebound off Neville, back onto Domi, and it should have been another kick.
Cancels out the earlier one. Peter Jones giving the corner kick. Should be Schmeichel's. Flat down in the air with confident ease. So quickly he launches attacks, counter raids for United. Maybe not this time. Schmeichel, I think he's wearing the captain's armband, hard to see from here. jumper. But he could well be captain, of course, in Barcelona on Wednesday. With Roy Keane missing for that one as well. That's Beckham. Solskjaer's run. There we are. Just about to see it. It says captain. Must be the one.
I'll still be surprised though at the end of the game, because Schmeichel will be captain in Barcelona, that Roy Keane doesn't limp up those stairs and pick up the trophy.
I think he will. You try stopping him. Did you wear the captain's armband on occasions?
Yes, I was very lucky to not only captain the clubs, but I managed to captain England on one occasion here against Brazil, so special occasions.
Beckham now. Racing forward for United. Took a nick. It could have been a costly one. Another corner. There's Beckham. Now United are going to make a substitution. Next time is going to come on. In place of Paul Scholes, what a reception he'll get. Score of their second goal. So hopefully, from United's point of view, that's a sign that Japan isn't too seriously injured. It's a cool skin problem. Last season he's had from United. It's Giggs, made by Ferguson. Alan Shearer. Trying to link up though with Tamori Kitspire. Phil Neville at the back for United.
Ronnie Johnson just move into the middle of the field there and just secure the win, really. That's obviously what Alex Ferguson is happy to do now. They've got themselves into that winning position, do nothing silly, and hit them on the break like this.
Giggs might go all the way through, still Giggs. And Shearer! Such quick thinking, and he clipped the top of the crossbar.
Well, that was delightful, wasn't it? I mean, Giggs wins it, they're on the break, he waits his time, thinks about a shot, lays it to Sheringham, and look at that thing. Steve Harper, no chance whatsoever. So unlucky this didn't end in the back of the net.
Well, so much is made of his lack of pace, but he has so many other attributes. Meantime, Newcastle, another substitution. Stephen Glass is on. Aberdeen player. Not making no impression this time. United in command. Thanks to the goals from Sheringham and from Scholes. Griffin to carry speed. Shearer. Johnson indeed pushed up into midfield. Johnson now on a very positive break too. York to Ryan Giggs. Giggs swinging it in. And his ass was there.
Well, this is it's a vital clearance, because Dwight York's in there with a goal scoring opportunity.
This is York. Been very lively since coming on. Now David Beckham going for goal. Look at the bend on that. He scored some spectacular goals since coming into the United team in such dramatic fashion in recent years. There's been another one.
Well, they're all playing with so much confidence now. Beckham's trying shots like that. We've seen Giggs balls coming to the edge of the box. He's trying volleys from 30 yards. And there's a lady there. I think they'll be quite pleased with their future husband's performance this afternoon.
Victoria. Glass. to Neville, and it will be a goal kick. I notice, incidentally, Ray, that bookmakers were offering 100 to 1 on Beckham Jr., Brooklyn, playing for England. If he'd have drawn for it, it would have been 200 to 1.
150.
Well, Glass has got some pace. Maybe he can do something down that left side and stretch Gary Neville a little more. York showing his appetite for hard work. Robert Lee. Now Griffin. This is Gary's speed. Garage marauding through the middle to no avail. Sheringham moved on to York. So much confidence about Manchester United. York making a nuisance of himself against Stomey, who carried it over the line. And a terrific performance from Manchester United, especially in the second half. Well, they have produced some exhilarating football. And Rudolph's team really had no response for all the endeavour, the hard chasing of Alan Shearer. No foul. On you go, says a referee, as Sheringham went to ground. Griffin. No outlet for him down this right side. There was Ferguson through the middle, though. Marriage up with him. This is Marriage. It was a wonderful opportunity, and it's passed him by.
Well, they're not going to get a better opportunity than that. Those supporters know it. Maybe that was the chance that might have brought them back into the game. It's a delightful piece of skill to create the opportunity for himself there. Goal opens up and he slides it wide. And I think with that shot that goes wide here, goes the chance of Newcastle actually getting back into this game at all.
Geordies on their feet in expectation. But it wasn't to be. The Croatian Sergio Maric, who could have crowned his Wembley appearance here, his first, of course, with a goal. It might just have given them a glimmer of hope. And he can play, this fellow. No doubt he has an outstanding talent, and he hasn't really produced it as yet for Newcastle. Such a name for himself then had he scored. Brought them back into this match. Last with the cross. Shearer at full stretch. Ball here to Griffin. Now Lee. Bending his cross in. Stam is there, towering, commanding figure at the back. As he has been throughout the season once he's settled. Hard going out of Shearer. The stamina sapping conditions, the heat of Wembley, and the scorching heat of United's performance. Dwight York. Neville. Now Beckham. I think Rupert felt his team were playing in third gear until this final. Well, they certainly up a notch or two, but it hasn't been enough. Stat, posing himself on Ferguson. Now York, get good movement from Manchester United. Beckham, Shearer. This is Neville. Question about it, they have been the better team. Manchester United, they've got a free kick here, and he sought on Ryan Giggs as we head into the last 5 minutes. '85 have passed from a final that Manchester United have dominated. All the committed approach of Newcastle. This is Beckham now. Is there yet to be more punishment? Possession. Ronnie Johnson. Jorgen Solskjaer wait in the middle. Sheringham again tugging the strings, this time without effect. Goes Stab. Ferguson to speed. Andy Griffin. Shearer's up front, so is Ferguson here. Not good feet for a big man. Duncan Ferguson, as well as his strength in the air. With tennis at Newcastle, he was on the ground almost. York, Giggs stretching through. Fergie Sheringham. Walks in the middle, so is Giggs. Oh, Giggs might yet get a chance. He seemed to lose his concentration then, Xavi.
Well, I think Xavi's feeling, the strains of this game now. No real match practice thrown into this game, and certainly in this last sort of 20 minutes, I think he's found the going very, very hard.
It was top class defending then by Neville to curtail the threat of Alan Shearer. Shearer visibly feeling the strain of it all. Certainly hasn't been the flop of last year, but they are second best today. Once again. Verbals here from Ferguson. Tugging shirts with David May. The referee siding with the Manchester United man. Bizas with the back header. United voices, Manchester United voices ringing out around Wembley. But of course there's been great support too for Newcastle. Maybe a little subdued at the moment. I think they know victory is beyond their team now. I wonder where they've got behind them. Sheringham. United on a roll again. Solskjaer could be through. Good tackle. Beautifully timed there from Xavi. Maric. A fine first touch. If only he could have found the net with that chance that came his way. Who knows? He might have had a grand stat finish. United got a man down injured behind the goal. Time it's Lee.
I think it's just Solskjaer, and I think it's cramp more than injury, so that's a bit of good news for Alex Ferguson.
Speed. Can he find at least a consolation goal, Newcastle? Griffin. Now Robert Lee. Speed. We're in the final minute. Ferguson to speed again. It's too long though for Maric. Maybe now. Maybe the final chance is gone. Sheringham certainly contender for man of the match with his very intelligent contribution today. Of course, the first goal. Sheringham losing out though. Solskjaer is just limping down the touchline over on the far side. I don't think that's too serious though. David Beckham. Filled into Giggs, who's got some room here. 2 minutes of time will be added on. David Beckham. United content to retain possession until it's given away by Beckham. Nabizas. Got the gamble now, Newcastle. Because Nabizas again. Hold on to Domi. One has to say, very tired Newcastle. And then this man, Maric, wasted an opportunity a few minutes ago. We felt their hope sagging with it. But now it's Griffin. Right across the face of goal, too. don't think Schmeichel got his fingers to it. Newcastle felt he did. And he's had a change of heart, the referee. He has to put the corner.
Well, David May and Peter Schmeichel certainly thought the game was over then. They were hugging each other, but it was a good save from Schmeichel.
Not called upon here, though. Now he might be. He's been such a dominant force at the back again today, Schmeichel. They haven't needed it that often, Manchester United. And when he has been called on, he's been more than capable of repelling Newcastle. David May, wide to Solskjaer. Just happy to play out time now, with Manchester United so close to the double. Neville with a throw. Stoppage time. And that'll be a goal kick to Newcastle. They came here with real hopes of upsetting Ferguson's team. They felt they were in with a real chance. It hasn't proved to be their afternoon for the second year running. And they can afford to relax, afford to smile now. With one more big occasion still to come. A magnificent season has been for Manchester United. It's 2 down and 1 to go. United chasing a unique treble at home and in Europe have completed the League and Cup double for the 3rd time. The first team ever to do so. First in '94, then '96. And now in the last FA Cup final of the 20th century, they have added success here at Wembley to the league title. The celebrations are on the way. For Newcastle, well, it's another disappointment. Beaten last year by Arsenal, now Manchester United have proved too strong as well. Much better showing from Newcastle this year. At least they can take comfort from that. But it's another marvellous day for Alex Ferguson's team, for whom the success story simply goes rolling on. Their 10th FA Cup win. The 4th time they won it in the 90s alone. And now they'll be setting their sights on Bayern Munich in Barcelona and the Champions League final on Wednesday night. Shearer, whose goal paved the way for victory after he'd come on as a substitute for Roy Keane, injured early on. Woodhulley knows his team today, Ray Clements, simply weren't good enough.
No, unfortunately, they were second best for 90% of the game, particularly in the second half. Once the second goal went in, then it was a magnificent performance by Manchester United. Just saw a nice moment on the pitch there. Peter Schmeichel, who wore the captain's armband when Roy Keane went off. He went over to Roy Keane, took his armband off and put it back onto Roy Keane's arm, because he's the one who's going to go up and pick up that cup. But a tremendous performance, well deserved by United, and one which will give them fantastic confidence for what we all hope is a successful night on Wednesday in Barcelona.
4 FA Cup final wins as a manager, but Alex Ferguson, no one has managed that before in the history of the English game. Many people will be wishing them well on Wednesday night. I think there has been a feeling that United have their detractors. People don't want them to win things around the country, but there was a poll in a national newspaper today that 86% those who voted do want to win on Wednesday night. And we will go there with our best wishes, and certainly in good heart, after this terrific display today. Winners over Newcastle by 2 goals to 0.
And our thanks to Peter Brackley and Ray Clements. The favourites triumph. Worldwide favourites in football terms these days. Mighty Manchester United simply continue to power ahead of most of the rest in English football. Newcastle United, no, again, they have been a well-beaten second here. And Alan Shearer takes a walk that he dreads. The walk up the steps first in the FA Cup final, because if you do it first, it means you've lost. And that was something that Alan Shearer and Newcastle United did not bank on experiencing today. Just a quick word from Norman Whiteside as Newcastle make their weary way, and they do look weary mentally and physically up the steps.
Yes, I think it was men against boys really in the second half. Although to be fair, when Duncan came on at half-time, the first 5 minutes or so started something similar to the first half, because Newcastle put the pressure on, put a few balls into the box, and then all of a sudden it turned again, and United got a goal, and then after that it was just one-way traffic.
Can they take any consolation from doing all the things that you said they had to do at half-time, Norman? They had to make changes, they had to up the tempo, and for 10 minutes of the second half they were right in the game. Does that give them anything to look back on with pleasure tonight?
Well, I think at the end of the season, you've just lost the cup final. They're going to be bitterly disappointed. I mean, some of the boys have been down this road like last year before, and they won't look forward to I know they'll probably get a magnificent reception back in Newcastle tomorrow, because the fans are so great, but they'll be bitterly disappointed.
They know their football in the northeast. They're going to look at their defending today and know that that is not good enough at the top level.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, first half as well, there was a few openings, but second half it was really too many mistakes, not enough quality, and United capitalised on that. I mean, one particular moment, I think Ray said there was about a dozen passes. I thought there was probably more than that. They were just passing it around like a practice game, basically.
And yet they have the most unbelievable support. Any other club would love to have it, and even now they've stayed. But what they will witness now is another great moment in this great club's history. Whether you love them or not, they are a great football club. They built a reputation on a history of triumph and disaster, overcoming setbacks, courage, great players, great people behind the scenes, and of course they too have great support. Roy Keane will lead the team up. Peter Schmeichel took the captain's armband off him when Keane went off, but Keane is the man smiling at the end of this week. Well, he's a strong lad, and it's just as well because he's going to have to lift the more trophies.
There he goes.
The FA Cup.
You've viewed it, I think he said there. Lovely moment. Unfortunately for Manchester United, that's the end of Roy's season. So the boys will, after a few drinks tonight, I'm sure they'll get their act together for the big one on Wednesday. It's a great moment for Peter Schmeichel to end his Manchester United days in England, lifting a medal at Wembley. And what a way to finish! And he deserves every single, trophy that he's won with United, because his input over the years at that club is immense.
There have been some obviously top goalkeepers. Is Schmeichel the all-time best Manchester United keeper?
Yes, I'll have to go there. I mean, Harry Gregg from Northern Ireland probably disagree, but I would have to say Peter Schmeichel without a doubt.
What a turnaround in the fortunes of Teddy Shearer. Drummed out of the England World Cup effort last summer, a big part player for a large part of this campaign for Manchester United, yet at the business end he's a hero.
Absolutely. I mean, the change of fortunes in football just go to show, don't they, Paul? I mean, Harry Shearer, he was getting a little bit of stick by the Manchester United supporters earlier on this season, and then he just was on a substitute, puts him 1-0 in the lead, and like you say, he's an absolute hero today.
We've seen great teams in the past. One thinks back to the Liverpool units of the 80s. They had to constantly change faces, update the system to keep the hunger for success. Manchester United look to be doing the same thing.
It's a continual change around. Alex Ferguson spent a lot of money last year. Jaap Stam, nice to see him get a medal. He got off to a tricky start himself this season, but then he showed his true class throughout. And I think Fergie made some nice substitutions, and giving other people, a medal. Like, Jaap Stam coming on, getting a medal for the last 10 minutes, whatever it was. That's lovely to see.
Now, by my reckoning, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong here, that is trophy number 17 of Alex Ferguson's Manchester United career. And he won 1 or 2 in Scotland as well.
Yes, his record is absolutely just, it's got to be Sir Alex next, I think.
He's certainly right in the tradition of Matt Busby and the great names of Manchester United's past. He's written fresh pages of glory, and Sir Bobby Charlton there alongside him. Fitting partners in this triumph again today for Manchester United. Effectively, as Newcastle bid their fans farewell, and again the Newcastle fans have stayed to cheer their heroes out, even though yet again it has not been that day. Norman, that leaves the stage for Manchester United. Effectively the third team that Ferguson has built this decade to do the double. 3 of them have done it now. There are those that say that maybe defensively this lot are not quite as good as some of the previous teams, but boy can they entertain.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the teams that he has built, I think the wonderful thing that Alex Ferguson's done in his locker, that he brings in top quality internationals from Europe, but also keeps the youth policy going. And there's lots of home, you look at the homegrown players in that team today, plus some big money buys. It's got the resources for that, and they're reaping the rewards.
And the most frightening thing of all is, as you mentioned, they're still all under the age of 25.
Unbelievable. I mean,
and they're all on long-term contracts because he's no fool.
That's nice to see Alex with a trophy. Sometimes managers take a back seat at this time of the day, cup finals, but that was nice. And he'll look after his staff as well. He likes them to get involved.
Can they do it on Wednesday night and go where no English club has gone before?
I would absolutely love to see them do it on Wednesday night, so my answer to that is a definite yes.
Well, it would put them out on their own, because Liverpool in 1977 were close but fell at the FA Cup final stage. In 1985, Everton couldn't quite complete a wonderful double which involved the European trophy. And in 1994, remember, Manchester United did lose a game at Wembley that season. They lost in the League Cup final, even though it was one of 3 double years in this decade. Manchester United again have done the double, and now is their chance to go on to become immortal in English football history by clinching the treble involving